This winter's weather pattern looks very similar to the weather maps of the 1930s Dust Bowl era. Both time periods feature strong and persistent high pressure over the west, which means low precipitation, extreme heat, ample sunshine, and high evaporation rates. Here's a list of the warmest winters in Denver history. This winter would rank second at the moment, with 2 Dust Bowl winters in the top 5 and the winter of 1933-34 as the warmest ever. And it's not just Denver that's been hot, it's the entire state of Colorado.
The first 4 months of this water year, so October 1st through now, are the warmest on record by a large margin. So, we're pretty routinely breaking a lot of those records that were just kind of extreme outliers in the data back in the early to mid 20th century.
State climatologist Russ Schumacher says our lives don't visually compare to the infamous photos that show the hardships of drought and the dust storms from that time period, but the weather conditions are identical. He says the one metric that is hard to compare is the extremely low mountain snowpack due to the lack of observations in the 1930s. In fact, it was the shock of the Dust Bowl drought that inspired the initial snowpack measurements in our state in 1935.
The engineering researchers at the time, that was kind of the cutting edge thing, was to figure out how to go up into the mountains and measure how much water there was in the snow.
Schumacher says since 1935, there have only been 2 other winters with less snowpack in the Colorado Rockies than this winter. And so the only thing that we haven't seen so far is any of those massive dust storms, and those typically happen in the spring months. And Schumacher told me that if this dry and warm weather continues into the spring, he wouldn't be surprised, even with the agricultural advantages that we've gained over the years, if we don't see some big dust storms coming up in this spring. Reporting in Denver, I'm meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen for the 9 News Weather Impact Team.